Hi, and welcome to Balsamic Moon Games presents Children of Midnight, Nightsky, Sanctum. This is our illustrious cast. If everyone can introduce themselves and their characters they play, starting with Morningstar.
Starting with me. One would think you'd want to save best for last. I am playing as Elise. She is a Median psyche, socialite, and she doesn't like getting her hands dirty, so she tends to make others do it, either through coercion or through a little bit of manipulation of the mind.
She sure does.
Mm.
Seth.
My screen name is Lilith, and I'm playing Seth, a Nerid or fish person shapeshifter. I kind of go in guns a-blazing as a de facto leader, and I tend to leave a little bit of my fishy resemblance in whatever I shapeshift.
Anya.
My name is Anya. I'm playing Hollis. She is a Gob Baba who is very curious about possession, death, and the underworld.
Gob Baba is kind of a tongue twister,
Yeah,
isn't
it is.
And Vespertine.
Sorry. I'm Vespertine, and I'm playing Madeline. Any pronouns. A Gorgon animist who, I don't know, likes killing people.
Very much so.
And we all.
Where we left off in the... I'm just noticing that our dice bot and our clocks are not showing up for some reason. So let me check those real quick. That's what I get for having the TV so far away.
Better for your aunt stuff.
Oh, and now it decided to come back.
Oh,
How
it's back.
about the dice bot? Can we wake that up as well? We sure can.
Sure. They've slept in for far too long.
Here we are. Okay. All good. So, where we left off was in the previous session, the undertaking was against the Corpus Templi Solaris, which is a human safe cult who is very anti-witch. Everyone meet Iskander. They, them.
Sorry, we're still.
No, it's okay.
Video stuff.
We don't have a problem with semi-shirtless humans showing up randomly in our streams.
We don't. So I'm wearing a shirt for nothing.
Everything is falling over.
I tried to build my own camera stand, and it's not working out great either, so I know how that is. Well, it looks really good. Awesome.
Thanks. I'm a perfectionist.
So, the group decided, the Coven decided to take on Corpus by taking over one of their yachts, or actually in this case it was a cruise ship, and
Ice
they
matters.
very much so. And after some wild magic convinced 70% of the crew to throw themselves off of the side of the boat, and they took care of the rest, they had more or less successfully taken over the ship and ended the undertaking. They did a drawing down the moon ritual from on board the ship, so they are ready to take on the next part, which is to clear out what they believe is the final 5 holdouts that are stowed somewhere on this ship that are not on the crew manifest. And at that point, they'll have completely taken over the cruise liner and can do with it as they wish, more or less. So, if I remember right, you have a pet captain, and you also have
About with death.
a young boy named Nif that you saved, killed, and then resurrected and saved.
We'll just
He's
leave
fine
that-
now.
that part.
And I think there are 13 other children on board that are now under your protection, that are holed up in a classroom below decks.
Thoroughly traumatized.
Very.
I do believe one is in need of medical attention.
That is true. Some internal bleeding.
Well, that's what that's supposed to be.
True. So, how would you all like to tackle this new undertaking?
Shall we prioritize stabilizing the child before they
Yeah, that's
before
probably a good
you
idea.
two have to resurrect another one?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a waste, really.
Yeah, so what method? Is there a particular power someone has to help that child, or were we going to try first aid?
I have first aid kits, so I could try.
Okay. Yep.
Not violent yet.
Considering I was the one that smacked him. I think that's only fair.
Completely by accident, but yes, you were indeed the tentacle involved in that encounter. So, yep, we can just take that as a whatever action roll you'd like to use. And you might have to calm the children since they haven't met any of you yet. So, is everyone heading down below decks to do that, or is someone staying with the captain? She seemed pretty loyal when you last talked to her.
See, she's only really suffered being turned into a mouse. I mean,
True.
So do we take her with us, or do we lock her in somewhere?
I need someone to handle the ship.
Or command her to take you to any place in particular, or just tread water out here in the Manhattan Bay?
I think
Well,
we tread water until we get everybody under control. These mystery
True.
people.
you know, it's a bad idea to bring unknown elements to our covered stage.
Yeah.
She might have keys or key cards to get into some of the locked rooms. We could bring her along with us.
Or you could just command her to hand those over if you'd like. That way you don't have to worry about her
Accidentally dying.
Yes, well, then I shall do that. I shall say, my pet, we have to address some of the matters on the ship in order to secure it properly. So, be a good girl and give me the keys.
Okay. Is that a command, or are you consorting?
Well, I'm not asking. Got my flogger in my one hand and the pistol in the other, so I am not asking.
I'm gonna count everything you guys did last session as a setup action for that, so you can take an extra die.
Oh, well, okay.
And here's our captain / intern captain.
Aha. So that's why she's so compliant. She just got a promotion from her unpaid internship. I'm surprised that was only a partial success. With 4 die.
Okay. I think that looks like she's gonna need something from you. Maybe she didn't actually bring them with her when she came up, so you might have to go find them in her quarters. As the complication there. But she is pliant.
Well, then can visit her quarters.
Do we want to go 2 and 2? 2 to the
Yeah, that
kid,
sounds good.
2 to the quarters.
Do a familiar swap as per usual.
At the very least, I can give up Whisper. He's not very good at anything. It's besides being able to spy.
Who's carrying Whisper?
I can carry a Whisper. I for sure have to go over to the kid because I'm the one that has the first aid kit, so it makes sense if I take him.
And Ribert maybe as the other, since who wants to carry Ribert? If
I
you're
can carry
partying with
River
him.
just this once because I'm still dressed as a sailor. Nice gown.
Sounds good. Okay, so Seth is going with who? Or who would like
I'll
to?
go with Seth and
Okay.
take the other kid along with us.
Okay.
Yeah, the little kid likes you, so that makes sense.
All right, sounds good. And the other two of you are.
Beat up children just whispering despite, well, whispers. Yeah. I just have ears.
They. I would assume they do.
They can feel vibrations if nothing else.
All right. So, who do we want to follow first? The first aid or the searching for the keys?
Well,
Okay.
Elise has already done a roll, so maybe.
Yeah, sounds good. First aid it is. Okay. Anya, would you like to do the honors of making a first impression? Or second impression? You have that child in tow.
Yeah.
Can't be much worse than a giant octopus.
Oh yeah, what form is Seth in right now? Normal Seth?
Probably normal stuff. If I'm gonna do first aid, I don't know how effective I'll be as an octopus.
If you go as Median, you could possibly garner a little extra.
That's true.
Probably lose a little in the strange category, but gain a little in the eyes of the children.
Now, do I disguise myself as the teacher from last time?
Ooh.
That could get sketchy real quick if I don't scare
Did
the
any
kids.
of them see her die?
No, she was in her
She's
room.
unconscious.
Oh, okay.
That's true. She's actually not dead that we know
Oh, okay, good. Well then, yeah.
Maybe just a random person.
Okay. All right. No need for a roll for that then.
Okay.
Disguise yourself as Barney or something the kids will trust.
Green Barney.
It's a big dinosaur. You should all love that.
I said Barney, not a velociraptor.
They might like that too.
They
They
might.
might. Can't, again, be worse than an octopus that killed one of them.
So I'm gonna walk into the room, holding the hand of the child, so that we look like we're friends,
Okay.
and ask where the hurt child is, so that we can help or her.
Okay.
The child.
Sorry, I'm trying to move myself up. I'm a little low in the camera. All right.
Gonna
Was
do a
that
sway.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Let's see. That's a failure.
Okay. I think what that entails is that they have managed to open the door to the back room where the other teacher took their life, and so they are all just inconsolably traumatized, and they are not reacting according to plan.
Okay. So maybe I regroup and just do a survey of the room and see if I can figure out which kid it is. That's
Yeah, that sounds good. That's was controlled. So yeah, withdraw and try a different approach definitely would work.
have a partial success.
Okay. Can you describe again what you were doing?
I was surveying the room to see if I could figure out which child it was that was hurt, so that we can do the first aid.
Okay. Yeah, they're all on the ground, so it's relatively difficult. But you do have Seth with you, so
Do you remember which child you maimed horribly?
it all happened so fast. You might want to survey as well, or something of that nature.
Could I study the children? See if anyone's particularly
Yeah, that sounds good.
Pale.
Pale, swollen.
Yep.
Complete success.
Right.
6.
Okay. After a little while of working your way through the children that are so distraught, you do find one that's gone completely silent. What are you doing with them? Are you gonna take him out of the room or work on him in there?
They're traumatized anyway. Let's work on them in here.
All right.
So I will try my best to administer first aid.
Okay.
Would that make sense to just study the child? See
Yeah, I think so. Their wounds, yeah, and see what you can do with the tools you have. Hollis, do you think you would be of any assistance?
Knowledge. I could try to just poke him and see if he flinches. Any particular
And just
very, very effective method.
Scientific.
Even just keeping the other kids at bay could be helpful as well, or entertaining them.
Kids, look at my grave dirt.
All right, so if you're whichever you choose, just let us know and spend a willpower. That'll give +1 die.
Yeah,
+1 to my roll.
I guess I will try to distract the other children from what.
What are you doing?
I will do a very small summon Tartarus and just play with a ball of fire and be distracting.
Oh, you're gonna try to pass yourself off as like a stage magician, or are you gonna
No, I'm just like, look
try
what
to
I can do. Look at this fire.
desensitize the cultists to magic?
Yeah.
The anti-magic cultists.
It'll be very distracting then.
It will be very distracting. Yep. All right. So that's +1 die for Seth.
Okay. Partial success at a 5. You do it at a cost.
Okay. I think the cost is you're going to have to cause some damage to the child to relieve some of the pressure. So it's going to look worse before it gets better. And it's definitely going to turn the kids against you a little bit. Luckily, I'm going to say with the distractions, it's relatively minor, but yeah, you might not want to use that form again because the ones that did notice, they seem to really think you are betraying them.
Alrighty.
But yeah,
Why did
you're
we
able
want these
to.
children again.
What's that?
Why did we want these children again?
Want is a strong and probably not the correct word.
How else are we going to build a little gang of pickpockets?
Exactly.
We
Well,
need
that's-
minions.
It's true.
Children make great minions.
Yes, because most people are afraid to kill them. Most people, not including Seth.
All right, and we cut to the other two of you. And how are you searching for her room and keys?
Whose room and keys are we searching for again?
The captain?
Is she dead?
Nope.
Okay.
She's just still up front.
We could just make her come with us.
You could. I would definitely give you a +1 die. No, probably not even call for a roll. The only problem with that is nobody would be piloting the ship.
Yes,
It
that
can
would
be parked. Just put in park.
Park.
Can you
I-
park in the air?
I can pilot the ship while they're looking for keys.
Can you pilot a ship?
Yes.
Or captain a ship, rather.
Yes. One of. Hang on.
Well, she's basically doing 3 people's jobs because you've killed everyone else at the helm.
Maybe just ask her where her room is.
Yes, but they were just men who were contradicting her every 5 seconds, so we probably all of those jobs much easier for her.
That's true. She did tell you where her room is, but it's still going to take some searching because you're not very confident with your directions aboard the ship.
Alright, well, I suppose we can give it a try. Just looking around naturally.
Like a group action?
Might be more sensible.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe we should also do a little swap or exchange of familiars and go separate ways.
Oh, the 2 of you?
I don't even have my familiar anymore. But
What?
Elise has Robert.
Oh, okay.
so we've already split the party, unfortunately. But if we stick together, perhaps we'll find it more easily. And then, should we bump into any of these undisclosed persons on the ship, at least we're not on our lonesome.
True.
Because all I've got is a little switchblade and some throwing daggers
I
and a
do-
cat of nine tails and a pistol. And really, I mean,
That's all.
been a little bit.
Do we still have to worry about the I'm trying to look at my notes from last time.
Mm-hmm.
Red Dawn or whatever they're called. I don't remember. Their ship was on their way, and like the Coast Guard was going to
Red
intercept
Watch.
Red Watch.
I think you guys successfully confused them about who their target should be by working the Coast Guard against them a little bit, and then you cast drawing. Since you did the drawing down the moon ritual, that cleared out the wild magic.
Okay.
So you're more or less clear, but they could make a they could reemerge and be
Assuming that our new captain pet gets us a little bit away from where we cast magics, it'll be definitely harder for them to find us.
So, for finding this room as a group action, do you want to take charge of that, Elise?
Oh, yes. I'll use my dazzling intellect and spectacular planning skills, and the two of us can look about and see what we can find. Because I have plenty of essence, and I might as well use my master planner ability when I can. So, how about the two of us survey and see what we can see?
And I have started a clock called question mark
Well,
complete.
that's reassuring.
It's a 6-phase clock. And something is happening. Something is stirring in the belly of the ship. All right, so both of you are rolling.
Mine was a failure.
Oh,
And so was Madeline's.
okay. So this is pretty bad. Well, it's still controlled. And this was a survey, or
Well, I was utilizing surveillance.
survey? Both of you? Okay. All right.
There's almost anything else would have been more useful for me.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that looks like you get turned around, and there's instruction about starboard or something like that, and you went the opposite direction. And so you looked in the exact right place in the exact wrong half of the boat. And that's just going to cost you a little bit of time. So I'm going to fill
as far
in.
as I'm aware, time is something we have plenty of.
I'm going to fill in 3 of that clock unless somebody wants to resist.
I will resist.
Okay. Let's see. I think that would be insight, an insight resist.
So that's the number I have in my insight with an R after it?
Yep. And Morningstar, that is going to cost you 3 willpower to have led that action. But if you want to use Master Planner, you can reduce that.
Well, I have to check the essence for Master Planner, so I shall reduce that down.
Okay. Awesome.
You resist the effect and spend 1 willpower.
Okay. So we're going to say that reduces it from 3 clock ticks to just 2 clock ticks. And you're able to turn it around, and you make it halfway down the hallway before you realize that you're on the wrong side of the ship. So you head back, and you come to her room, and apparently she has effectively locked herself out of the room. So her keys are in, and you are outside. But it should be a simple matter to get through that door.
We do have lockpicks as well.
I'm sorry?
We all have lockpicks because of the coven, so.
Your coven has fine lockpicks? Or
I
are
do
they
believe so.
regular lockpicks?
I think they're still regular at this point.
Alright.
Well, I shall attempt to unlock the door then.
Because it's the captain's room, I'm going to say it's reduced effect, because that's going to be the higher tier.
Right. Well, I shall stoop down rather daintily, despite the fact that I'm in trousers. You know, old habits die hard. And insert the lockpick and carefully, most delicate actions, move it about in the hopes of somehow getting it to unlatch. So
Would
I'll
you
use
like-
finesse for that.
Would you like to spend willpower to increase the effect? Two
I'm already,
willpower.
unfortunately, going to be over half if I do that, and we haven't even really started yet.
What
So,
about if Madeline wakes up the spirit of the lockpicking set to make them fine? Isn't that that's a thing, right?
That's a thing?
Yep, your one of your animist special abilities is awakening the spirits of items to
I
increase.
didn't realize I could do that. Holy shit.
You've been on the darker side of the animist path. This is going to tax you.
How do I... Oh, once per undertaking. Okay.
time to use it.
So, is there anything I have to do other than just state that I have awoken the spirit of the lockpicking set?
Yeah. You could just describe to us how you awaken its spirit if you'd like. Can't hear you.
God damn it! I have to keep my push to talk on
Yeah.
because there's people here. So, I imagine Elise is trying to like play around, picking the locks. And is like, I don't think this lock set is fine enough. So I just yell at it, and I'm like, "Listen, wake up and be better."
That's the Madeline we know.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. That sounds great. All
Of
right,
course,
so
I
yeah,
pause and look at Madeline with offense in my eyes.
yeah. But yeah, they sort of come to life in your hands, and yep, they're getting into all the right nooks and crannies.
Are they?
Well, we'll see. I guess that depends on how you roll.
Yes, let us hope that they get into all the right nooks and crannies.
But we will increase that up.
They
to...
indeed do get into all the right nooks and crannies. It's complete success.
Okay.
Nice.
You withdraw the picks, and the door slides open. And you can see her keys laid upon the bed. They were probably the next thing to go into her pockets, and she just left them.
My goodness.
That's how it goes.
This
They're-
pet is going to need some training.
But you do run into a little bitty problem. They are magnetic/electronic key cards. But it still might work for you.
But as long as they don't explode the moment we pick them up.
I don't think they have anything in them that could cause them to explode, unless you're particularly unlucky. So, all right, you all meet back up below decks since you're all in the same, more or less, general area.
Goody, does that mean I get to go yell at children?
Yeah, sounds good. So you all head and meet up together. This other child by the name of Tor.
What you
What?
did to his chest.
Tor. Is recuperating from his hemorrhage, but yeah,
So what you're saying is Tor is sore.
was.
On the floor.
Everybody do the dinosaur.
But only Seth can do the dinosaur.
Now I need to see Seth turn into a dinosaur.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sure it will happen at some that is quite full of dinosaurs.
I mean, I do have dire form now.
You've got a dinosaur right behind you.
Yeah.
Very angry. Small baby.
Hermes is
Aw.
the cutest.
Mm-hmm.
She is rather adorable when she's behaving. And this biting is her behaving.
All right. So what's the idea here for finding out where these last five holdouts are hiding? Now that you have the keys.
I have a notion. Might not be very useful in the present. But at the very least help us in the future. You can ask the children if they know anything.
Hmm.
And by ask the children, I mean I go in there and I tell them I'm their new mother. And if they don't listen, they're all going to be beaten and served gruel. And if they do listen, they'll get candy.
Hmm.
Easy choice.
All right. That sounds to me like a sway. Unless it's a command.
And again, I couldn't ask him, but I could just try this.
I mean, you're asking as their mother, so that's a
Yeah.
command, right?
Although, again, I'm not sure that's the most useful course of action at this point. I really just want to frighten the children.
So, yeah, are you using command or sway?
I'm not
Because
committed to that idea yet. Is everyone in agreement, or shall we consider something perhaps a bit more rational?
I'm in agreement with terrorizing the children and using them.
Well, they already don't trust me, so I don't think I should really be too involved. They're not gonna really want to help after I shanked their friend.
Where's that other? There's the teacher that shot themselves or killed themselves.
They're in the back room, so they're in this classroom, and there's like another door at the back of it. You can go through
Wait,
one, and
there's-
it's like an exit.
There's still ones alive, yes.
Yeah, there's one teacher and a live teacher and one dead teacher.
The
Where?
alive one's incapacitated in her
Yeah.
cabin, and the dead one's in like the office or the room.
Do
past
we
the
think we could
classroom.
revive her?
I could just speak to the dead. I don't have to revive them.
Well,
Leave them dead.
I meant the alive one.
Yeah, smack her around until she wakes up.
Then I can possess her, and we can make the children do whatever we want.
I mean, I suppose we should get the children to, be at least somewhat calm so we can start brainwashing them to be our minions.
Have to give them
Or
candy.
Steph could always turn into the unconscious teacher, since they don't know that she's dead. Because she's not. Can't really pass for the other one in this state, since they seem to have discovered her corpse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which is it gonna be? Are you gonna body snatch her, or am I gonna shapeshift? Because that means you get to yell at kids if you body snatch.
It's tempting. But
It's a lot of essence, if I remember right. Especially if you want to
Yeah, it's probably
get her mind and then get her body to do like a perfect.
and we'll still have to wake her up.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get a good enough read on her when she bonked me on the head when I was in her
When you were an
cabin?
octopus.
Hey, you could make a roll. Basically, it'd be a flashback to when you were wrestling with her.
Okay.
Even if it's an imperfect impersonation. Just a familiar face. Calm the children. Be useful.
Just a exclamation mark, or like what should I roll for that? Just
Let's see. That's up to you, but I would
I've done a
say.
flashback yet, so I'm not sure how that works.
Oh, it's just any action roll. And I don't think it should cost you any willpower either. It's something that you absolutely could have done. You had time. So whatever you want to roll, I think study makes a lot of sense.
Okay, I'll do convenient studies, my highest one. I'll
Nice.
just do that. Study. Oh, failure. My octopus peepers didn't get a good read on her after I got bonked on the head.
Yeah. Maybe she scrambled your vision a little bit. So I think what this looks like is that you've got her exterior down pretty well, but because the only time you've dealt with her was violent, you have sort of the wrong idea about her demeanor, and so, but also, well, yeah, I think that should probably do it. It is only it would only be probably a controlled roll. So
I'm too Trunchbull and less Miss Honey is where we're going, I guess.
Yeah, Trunchbull's perfect. Scare the children. Then I can play good cop.
That's true. I can do it as a handoff, so I guess I can try to do a sway roll to the kids to be like, hey, these guys, they're gonna protect us. We need to give them some information. We need to help them find their friends.
My goodness. Yeah. Shaq's being more macabre than we are.
That sounds like a good setup action. So whatever you want to roll for that, it would be controlled.
Okay, I'll do a sway roll.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
As an organ, is there any way I can get the power to look at people and turn them to stone? Is that something I could have gotten from the Fey Market? Because I never chose that yet.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I feel like I should have that as a Gorgon.
Yeah, I think that would be fine. We could work with that, work that up as a either an artifact or some kind of like enhancement or something that the Fae at the floating market were able to help you with. Yeah, that makes sense.
Kind of funky shades. Get you some stone sunglasses.
So, for the cost on that, I'm going to say that it just is going to take a significant amount of time for you to convince them. There are a lot of false starts, and with the trauma and everything that they're recovering from. So we're going to fill in one more tick on that clock, unless you want to resist that.
No, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
They're traumatized, so it's going to take a little bit of meandering.
Yeah. All right, so that clock is half full. And all right, and that's a setup action. So if Elise wants to take it away from there,
can I change out of this ghastly costume first and put my gown back on?
Sure. Yeah.
While she's spending all of that time.
Yeah, Seth definitely gave you the time for it.
I can get back into an outfit that's worth actually wearing.
I take it I'm taking Ribbert back at this
Toss
point.
the trousers overboard.
Yeah.
Yes, no more Ribbert. Can't have a slimy little frog ruining my fine gown. So then I sway in there, looking as charming as all get out. After Seth is done their in at least convincing the children that things are safe. And I say, all right, children. Things are going to change here. Now, your teacher is going on hiatus. The rigors of teaching you little wretches has unfortunately undone her. So, they've had to hand you all to someone a little bit more capable. Now, I'm a very generous individual. Win to work with me. So, if you play nice, we're going to make your lives very fun. So much more fun than those wretched parents that you had allowed you to have before. There's going to be candy, there's going to be games. But, if you don't, well, you saw what happened to your one teacher. Goodness knows, 2 of you almost didn't make it. So I would suggest the former option. We'll call that a sway.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to use whatever pay bargains I could to utilize my gown to try to make it.
All right.
Truly dazzle them.
Ah, nice. Yeah, is that how we I can't remember how we set up
I
your
can't recall either.
Okay.
Honestly, I assumed that, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, it's like a beguiling gown kind of thing.
yes. So
Yeah.
enchanting that I'm extra persuasive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now you're gonna get +1 die from Seth's setup action, and you're gonna get increased effect from being an adult and looking the part.
That's very
So yeah,
obvious.
trying to think of what that how about it'll create like a hypnotic effect in addition to whatever you do, so like they'll be sort of stuck in whatever mental position you are able to put them in
It'll
until
probably bite us in the rear later on, but sounds quite entertaining.
and that won't cost a Fey bargain.
Yeah,
That's
all
just
right.
an ability from the artifact.
So that would be plus. Is that the ability, or so it's not +1 die then? So I would just do +1 from Seth.
Correct.
Well, fingers crossed. It's a complete success.
Awesome. Okay. You are Pied Pipering these kids, and yeah, they're following you around in a row like ducklings,
Mother
and
knows best.
pointing out any little details that they see, raising their hands in order and everything. So they have you completely like hypnotically pegged as you are their teacher. This is how they treat you. As long as you wear the coat.
Well, thank goodness that I look good in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I only threw out that sailor costume.
There's a Gorgon, Madeline, children in 2 straight lines joke in here somewhere.
That's why I chose the name. It was one of my favorite book series growing up.
Aw. Well, let's take a quick break,
As we do.
and we'll come back just shy of 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So, all right, we'll see everyone in just a few moments. Welcome back to Nightsky Sanctum, Children of Midnight. And where we left off was the group had successfully, well, Elise, nearly single-handedly, had successfully wrangled all these young children, ranging in ages from about 10 to 14 in the same classroom, using a Fey enchanted artifact robe to convince them that she was their teacher. And now they're following her around like little ducklings and going to assist in trying to get into the deeper reaches of this vessel.
So if we happen to run into anything threatening, we can just throw a few of them at you.
Exactly.
Most of them are nameless thus far, anyway.
They're what? Nameless?
Most of them are nameless thus far,
Mhm.
anyhow, so we're not attached.
Mm-hmm.
Seth does not approve of violence against children.
Seth does not approve of violence against children. I don't think Seth is in any place to criticize.
Seth violently murdered a child last session.
Seth is the only one of us who has committed violence against children.
It was an accident.
We brought him back. We brought him back, and I felt bad.
You
That's
did.
what's
happened.
Hollis and Madeline cleaned up after your mess.
I had to do a bit of necromancy.
A
Best
bit
kind
of light
fancy.
necromancy makes every evening better, anyhow.
Whenever any figurine breaks and I glue it together, I call it necromancy.
Nice. I'm gonna make a 2-die fortune roll to see basically how good these kids are at getting you to where you're going. Mixed result.
Yeah, I don't expect them to be that great at it.
So they don't get candy.
So I think that is going to put us one tick closer to question mark completes.
This is
And
very concerning.
however, that puts you at the door that leads to the cargo hold that has a maglock, and you have the key for. I think Elise, either Elise or Madeline were carrying that key.
One of the two of us. Doesn't really matter too much. We're all together anyhow. Well, I suppose we should try to use it, although I don't... Wait. I hand it to one of the children and tell them to open the door. Since
Okay.
they're hypnotized.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they're not witches.
All right. That sounds like a command. I'm gonna go ahead and treat that as an automatic success because of your coat.
It probably would have
So-
succeeded anyhow.
So
It could have gone badly, but...
All right. So one of the children, let me grab one at random. A young girl with turquoise hair pipes up and says, "It's my turn. It's my turn." As fourth in line, she hasn't had a chance to help yet. So she hops up and is trying to be teacher's pet, and heads over, snatches the key card away from you, and runs it over to the door.
Strange
And
feeling, but... not very
wipes
good.
the card, and the door slides open with a loud metallic swoosh, and you can see the unlit cargo bay directly ahead. Nothing moving in there, and it's massive. It takes up about a third of the underbelly of the ship. And you can see boxes and boxes of unopened foodstuffs, canned goods, things like that, all over the immediate area when you first enter the cargo hold.
Is anything particularly appealing in the foodstuffs, or is it all like rations?
Yeah, it's garbage by comparison to what you would hope.
Nothing to
To
give the
see.
children.
This is definitely for the lesser crewmates. This isn't the fine cuts or anything like that.
I take a moment to pat the turquoise
Mm-hmm.
headed girl on the head. Say, good girl.
Isn't that what we all want?
What, for me to pat them on the head and say, good girl.
I thought it was the turquoise hair. What we all want.
When
Lilith has had that
Don't
quite
we
a
all
time.
want both of them?
Mm.
are we sending the children back to the room at this point? Now that we're getting further in.
Or have them all fan out through the cargo
Just
hold.
tell them to go find something useful.
Is the cargo hold dark? Like, can we actually see? Or
It's dark. It's lit. This first area is pretty well lit, where they have boxes stacked up. But you can see there's sort of a walkway that leads on in, and the light dwindles from there.
Are there lights on the ceiling that just aren't on, or is it just pitch black?
Yeah, you can see them. They're directly overhead and throughout the entire place.
Perhaps. Well, I suppose electricity isn't exactly our friend anyhow.
Yeah, but a switch should be fine. That's just mechanical. So when you turn to see where the nearby light switch is, you see that it has been ripped from the wall and there are just wires hanging there.
Helpful. Should I tell one of the kids to just touch them to each other and
Touch
see if
them
it
together?
starts working? Just hold them together. We'll leave. One of the kids is still mangled, aren't they? So we'll just have them stay here and
Well-
hold wires together with their bare hands.
My hand's already mangled, and I'm reckless as my trauma. Would I be able to use my psychometry to touch it and figure out what ripped this electrical out of the wall? Like if it's this countdown risk that we have, if it's some kind of thing or creature?
Our
Yeah.
soaking wet fish person wants to grab live wires. It can't go wrong.
I love it. As a GM, I have to say, I'm 100% down. I'm very excited for how you roll.
Alrighty.
That sounds good.
Okay. So I'll do Essence Blip for my psychometry. And I'm having a brain fade at how I roll for that. I pick just an action to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess. Well, I'm trying to gather information, so I guess study is probably the thing, which also
Sounds
works.
good.
I'm just doing a lot of study rolls today. Here we go. Let's see if I turn into electric eel this. Oh,
Ooh.
complete success at a 6.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you
Die,
see.
guys.
You see that there isn't much that has there isn't much emotional or spiritual that has happened to this light switch until very, very recently. About 15 minutes ago recently.
Oh no.
And yeah, you see through the jolts of electricity as time slows down and you're peering into the past, you see a red-robed individual with a karambit that has jammed it in and is tearing out the wires from the switch. The lights flicker for a split second as Seth has their hand bridging the gap between them, and then back out as soon as Seth lets go. Is there anything else you want to learn since you got a complete success?
I guess if we recognize anything about this person from the stuff like with
It's
Roger and
Sanctum.
Malachor ritual, like if there's anything like that, we kind of get the same kind of energy off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, so like resonance-wise, no, nothing terribly similar, and as far as their appearance goes, they're wearing mesh masks under their robes that they can see through, but it just looks black from the outside.
Okay.
Yeah, and nothing that particularly ties them to them. They're not like smoke monsters or anything.
Okay.
But they are damaging our boat.
That's true. Not respecting the new chain of command. That's for sure.
I mean, honestly. No respect.
All
Of course,
Okay.
what can you expect from someone wearing a mesh mask? Probably also taking horse dewormer.
All right.
Does anybody else want to do anything?
Well,
Because otherwise, I have a small plan since we can't really see.
well, if you've got a plan, let's hear it, darling.
I put points in a few sessions ago to get chimeric familiar. So I could make some kind of bioluminescent bird, kind of ribbert, have them fly around and kind of light up the area for us.
Cool. So yeah, you're gonna just draw that out of him.
Yeah,
Neat.
but I'm
You'll
not
be drawn
sure.
into
I
a
don't see
flying,
anything
glowing
point-wise for chimeric familiar, so I don't know if there's
You could
anything
just make
I
a
have to do for
phoenix, I'm
willpower
sure
points or
that's
anything
quite
for it.
Oh.
Yeah, there's generally it's treated as like sort of a downtime thing. You just decide what they are, and they are that. But I like the idea of, since you got the power recently and we haven't had a chance to use it yet, that maybe you're like, I see a need, and you try to actually draw it out of him for them, and
Okay.
yeah, see if they can pull it off. So maybe just
Maybe
throwing
like
it out there.
2 willpower or a fey bargain or something just to kind of force it. Is that what you're saying?
I was thinking just a focus roll or something like that.
Okay. I could do that. So I have 1 for focus. Partial
Okay.
success at a 4. You do it at a cost.
Okay.
The cost is that he's in constant pain for the rest of his existence.
Oh.
If he could speak,
Awful.
he would only scream, "Kill me."
Oh.
My poor frog. Or I guess bird.
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 Okay, I think as the partial, that's going to fill in another tick on the question mark completes, because it's just going to take some time to get
Okay.
that out of him. Yeah, the wings take time to sprout out of his back, and then the luminescence needs to charge in the light. All
I
right.
would have
that-
gone with Phoenix, but I don't know if there's anything flammable down here, so I figure this is the safest option.
I'm
It had a bird
imagining.
down on.
I'm imagining this frog is like the dragon frogs in Elder Scrolls, but just kind of bioluminescent.
Oh, I adore those.
Oh.
Me
Oh,
too. They're my
adorable.
favorite.
They look so ridiculous.
And
I'm
they
gonna-
breathe out little spurts of fire.
Yes, those are my favorite. Of course,
I either need
beautiful.
some fan art or some
Let's see if I can pull something up real quick and put it in the chat.
I will find that, because
nice.
Vespertine actually did give the exact thing that I was thinking as well.
Nice. All right. So that puts you at 5 out of 6 on question mark completes. But now you have a flying luminescent frog that you can send out. Do you want to use your luminescent frog, to do some kind of survey around the area?
Yeah, we can send him to do a survey, I think, and then maybe we kind of follow behind after the area is checked out. So I guess I'll do a survey roll.
Okay.
Oh, that was a failure.
Okay. We're
He
still in
smashes right into a
controlled.
box.
I'm gonna say, actually, now that you're in here, aw, oh, everybody can see that. Cool, it showed up on the camera. There we go.
They're so
Yeah,
cute.
awesome.
They
Thank
are
you.
very adorable little things.
I want
That
12.
here, this blue one here, which is definitely more.
All right.
over
So,
there. I found it. Fan art.
So I think that's we're in risky now that you're down here, and they're probably down here too. So I think, oh, there's
Oh,
another
It's
great one.
even better. It's like little white
Do you like the
sheepdog.
soft, squishy boys?
So yeah, Robert's getting used to its new wings, and grazes the top of some of the boxes, And just as he crests the top of some of the boxes and heads into the next area, you see a candle in the distance being snuffed out, and smoke rising from where it was, and several figures scurrying away from the area. And then you hear
children.
And then you hear loud metal clanking as some kind of big metal thing falls or is knocked over. Maybe like crowbar or something.
Well, I hope so, and not Malachor.
Malachor? Who's that? Never heard of him.
How
so
far away?
How far away is all
Yeah.
that? Probably 50 or 60 feet.
I was thinking about maybe freezing the floor so they can slip and fall.
Mm-hmm.
Probably rather wet.
Yeah.
A pretty big area to do that too, but
Very thin sheet of ice, though. Unless I want to freeze them in place. Like, freeze
Could
their
just
feet
yell a
to the
few
floor.
slurs at them and see if they chase at us instead of running away. Or maybe they'll just jump off the bench. Wait.
Judging by how quickly they're moving, they're not making as much noise as you would expect.
Okay. I say we just shout, who goes there, show yourself, and get these people out into the light where we can see them.
Before we do that, would I be able to use my Grimoire sense on them? Or are we too far away?
What is that? What is the specific sense?
Just to kind of, it says what type of mind am I reaching out to save which fate, just to get an idea of who they are.
Yeah. Because there are a lot of minds in here with the kids and everything, there's a chance you might get one of the wrong people. But I would say there's a chance. I'd give you like a 1-die fortune roll, and you might get one of the right people.
Don't succeed. We'll get a number from Annie going in my head. The little orphans around us. Alright, so 1 die for a fortune roll. Alright. Let's see if I'm lucky enough to reach out to a mind worth reaching out to. I am not. It's a failure.
Okay.
So indeed, I've got hard knock life in my head now.
There are so many people in here right now, between your allies and these kids, all moving around, and all. There's just so many thoughts in the astral right now that they're all just sort of flowing through the area. You're having a really hard time tracing them back to their origin points to figure out who it is that you're trying to access. There are definitely more minds in here than the number of people that you're counting.
Can I try to use commune with spirits to gather more information on them?
Yeah, I think right now the only active spirit we have in the area is the one on your lockpicks.
We could kill a child, and then their spirit would be free to kind of move throughout.
Oh.
And we could gather information from them.
Well, then why did I go to all the trouble of reanimating the child?
And then we kill a different child. Not the turquoise-headed one. I like her.
Everybody deserves the experience of death and reanimation.
Okay.
Puts
everything into perspective.
Let's do the results, the complications arising from that action roll.
Terrible failure.
Yeah, so you're how about this? Elise is trying to direct everyone around. Like, I'm sensing them coming from this way, and you're all turning your attention around and trying to get to them. And as you are finally realizing that there are just too many minds in here, that you're having too much of a hard time wrangling them, one of you turns and spots one of the red cloaks going back out the door that you all came in through.
Oh no.
I'm still got my reckless trauma. I'm just gonna charge right after him.
Okay. Leaving the kids behind. Does anyone else want a group action with
Kids are
that?
mine. The kids are mine.
True.
Yeah, they're all hypnotized on Elise, so I don't know if I could make them come with me if I wanted.
I meant the rest of you.
Oh.
Elise, Solace, and Madeline.
Because I want to charge no matter what. Either I'm charging
Right.
after this guy or I'm charging further into the rooms. Whatever you guys want.
I'm tempted to have the children charge, but
Mob, go.
but I don't think it would be very effective. However, we could make them into a wall to keep anyone else from escaping after Seth charges.
Mhm.
You're gonna make them Red Rover themselves in front of the door.
Then they're an
So-
alarm system.
Mhm. So let's handle Seth's potential action first, and then we'll. I think that makes sense with your trauma and everything. That you act on that faster than everyone else.
Okay. Spring is surprise, so would Prowl or Brawl make more sense?
I think even Spring would make sense.
Yeah.
You're going straight for the door. Everything else be damned. Not watching your flanks, and you're just single-mindedly focused on stopping this person from going out of the door or chasing them down. Yeah, I think that could totally work as Spring.
Can I take a Fey Bargain as well? I only have 1 point in Spring, and I want to kind of make this work as I can.
Yeah, for sure. Let me put up the. All right. How much of that? Hey, most of that actually shows up in the chat still.
Nice.
All right.
So I do have a mangled hand, concussed, and I have a level 3 dislocated shoulder if we want to break that to any.
Yeah. Let's. Yeah, let's say that I don't know if you remember from a couple sessions ago when you ran off to try to chase a elk,
Oh, yeah.
and you had the problem with you left everyone else behind. You left Hollis with a bruised tailbone and Elise with
Paranoia.
yeah, and you just went running off. I think that's gonna like trigger those feelings again, that you're blasting off without checking with anybody and potentially getting yourself and them into trouble. So that would be appear to betray a friend or loved one.
Okay.
Except
Makes
this time
sense.
we're gonna bring Madeline into that as well. So
I'm dragging
You weren't
into
here
my
to be betrayed last time, darling.
but that'll give you +1 die and cost you a Fey Bargain tick.
Okay. So that'll bring me up to 2, so we'll see how this goes. Partial success at a 4. Do it at a cost.
Okay. And what you're trying to do is chase them down, get your hands on them, and
Yes.
stop them from leaving. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So I think the cost is that as you grab this person, you notice that 2 had already slipped through before this one. So if
So
there
now
are
there's
5,
3. I've just caught
if
the
there-
one.
if there are 5 in total, as you were told, then 2 are probably still in this room somewhere. 2 have already escaped, and this is the 3rd that you have your hands on.
Okay.
I feel like that's better for us long term, though, because then we have to deal with less at a time.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
It just means we have to do a scavenger hunt again.
All right.
Can I see how far away these other 2 are? Like, are they just kind of rounding a corner away from me, or as I'm like gaining ground on this one person?
Yeah. So you, how do you want to stop him? Do you want to grab him by the shoulder, shapeshift?
It worked out real well last time doing the whole snake
Mhm.
arms thing, so I'm gonna probably try to do that again and see if I can wrap around them,
Sure.
like by the waist and like pin the arms, essentially.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe a brawl roll
I
or
think
something
so.
of that nature.
I feel like that makes the most sense. I'll try without any bargains this time. Partial success at a 4.
Okay. I think that is a karambit. Slashes downward and slashes into your side, even though you're this gigantic, monstrous python. Are we going to go with? As before?
Yeah,
And
we'll go with a...
yeah. So you get a big slash down your side. That's going to be a level 1 harm.
Okay.
And we're still in risky. And but you do have his other arm and strapped down to his side, and he's not going to be able to run away from you. But the other 2 are definitely slipping away further down the hallway. What's everyone else doing?
Quick
I
question.
am going to.
Since
Go
I
ahead.
have a panther, can my panther see better in the dark? That's not listed on Cat's Large, but I feel like that's something my panther should be able to do.
Absolutely.
It should be able to locate the other 2 people still in the cargo bay for me, correct?
Yeah. If you want it to. Absolutely.
Is there any way I can do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what do you want to roll for that? That could be prowl, that could be survey, that could even be target, maybe, using your using its nose and, well, really all of its senses.
I think for just locating them, I'm gonna do survey.
Okay. I think that makes sense, since there's sort of a not fully known number of people left in here.
Failure at 2.
Okay.
Your cat's out now.
Yeah, your cat is following a scent trail and comes around a corner of boxes, and one of the cultists leaps out the opposite way and just goes running off past Seth and into the hallway, while the other one brings its karambit down into the side of the panther's neck. So that's going to be level 2.
Baby panther?
Baby. That's going to be level 2 harm. You can resist that as your witch with prowess or even insight, your choice.
They're both the same, so I'll do prowess.
Okay.
I reduce or resist the effect and spend 3 willpower.
All right.
I cannot spend any more willpower or I will trauma out.
So you still have 1 box unchecked?
Yeah, so I'm going to save that till the end of the session.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So yeah, you I think that looks like your panther is able to dodge completely and avoids the wound. But now the panther and this last cultist are sort of squared off with a karambit in hand.
And-
Especially knows where it is.
Can I grow my talon and charge over there?
Sure. So you're gonna like pincer like your panther on one side and you come from the other side, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think that makes sense. What do you want to use for that?
I
does that
feel like spring.
Okay. So you're gonna maybe leap onto him?
Yeah. He's focused on my panther, so I'll just try to sneak up behind and leap onto him.
Sounds good. I'm gonna count that as well. No, we'll just take that as risky action.
Complete success at a 6.
All right. So what does that look like? Is that are you trying to kill him? Are you trying to?
Yes, I have grown out my talon. I
Mhm.
run up behind him, and he's trying to get my panther, and I just slit his throat.
Okay. You jab your talon into his neck, and you feel this industrial mesh that you can't quite pierce. Your blade kind of skates off of it, but then it does catch maybe around his Adam's apple, and you end up able to push it in really hard, and it slashes through the Kevlar and into his neck, and he starts gurgling and drops his karambit.
I yell at the others that I killed one and that they might all have this material around their throats that will make it difficult to kill them.
All right. Elise, Hollis?
Well, then I suppose out into the hall we go, since there's nothing more to do in the cargo hold. Would have hoped to have blocked one of these also. So I walk out into the hall with my pistol drawn. Is Seth still tangling with this other one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's another one in the hall that you could take aim at.
Alright, I want to shoot it in the bloody back.
What do you want to use for that?
Well, the target seems most rational.
Sure. You want any Fey bargains or anything? Or
No, I miss.
okay.
Honestly, it seems a bit rattled that you'd hit in the first place.
How many
Given.
shots? You have 3?
3.
Mm-hmm.
And not 2, and I didn't hit.
Okay. The first bullet it goes just a bit left of him, hits the wall, and ricochets around. But it does stop him in his tracks because there's a gun being fired at his back. So yeah, he stops. He's about 45 feet away from you. What would that be? 15 meters? And yeah. Hollis, anything?
I'm going to run out into the hallway for sure, just to kind of get a picture of what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a person about 15 meters away that's stopped in their tracks after being shot at. Elise is out in the hall, and Seth is tangling themselves up with another cultist in a red robe.
I think I will try and freeze these guys' feet to the floor so they can't run away.
Okay. You gonna go after the one that stopped in front of Elise?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will use focus to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. And invoke Tartarus Ice. And that is
Nice.
a complete success.
Okay. So he. Do you want to describe what that looks like? The spell casting.
Yeah, so Hollis will drop to her hands and knees, kind of, sort of, I guess, kind of more like a squat, put her hands on the floor, and start mumbling in her goblin language. And you see like a line of frosty air shoot across the floor and swirl up around this guy's feet and solidify into a. He cannot move.
Right. Yep, he's tugging with his legs, but yeah, not coming free. Seth, I think you're in the most dire position right now of everyone, because this cultist still has his karambit hand free.
Would I have been too far away to hear Madeline's statement about the
Oh
campfire?
no, you definitely were able to hear that.
Okay, so since I'm wrapped around him, I would like to slam him headfirst into the wall, if possible.
Okay.
Kevlar doesn't help
Welcome
with
to the
this
jam.
smash neck. So, would that be brawl or a finesse roll? I'm not sure.
You could do it either way. I think you'd probably have the greatest effect with brawl.
Okay. Both are the same, so I guess it didn't matter which one. But do a brawl. See how that works. I don't want to do.
Seems the most rational.
I have some willpower to spare, and I have some fey bargains. And you said I'm in a desperate situation right now.
No, only risky.
Okay. I think I'll do. Can I take another fey bargain?
Sure.
I've got 4 willpower left, and I'm just afraid of that traumaing out.
Let's see. Anyone have any ideas?
But I have a unit for a fey bargain now. Maybe they're stuck as a snake for the rest of the evening.
I'm concussed with my maybe my inner balance be messed up or vision's blurry.
Yeah, having a hard time telling up from down.
Yeah, but
These
I'm
weak
level
arms are
2
heavy.
concussed.
You accidentally
I
You
basically
don't
became
have
have
one.
either things as your snake.
I basically have 1 level 1 harm left, and then I have harm in everything right now, so I'm pretty banged up.
Wow.
Goodness.
He's a spider
Yeah.
morph.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You accidentally became a spider morph, Python.
Can I heal some of Seth's stuff? Because Seth has a lot of stuff and I have some healing.
You can definitely take away like the pain and the effect, but that power doesn't actually do any real healing.
I think it was like for poison and stuff last time we tried to do it. I don't really have any of that.
But if I take away Seth's pain and stuff, will it be easier for them to complete like this session without having trouble?
Yeah, it could definitely reduce the trying to think of a good word for it. Like reduce the consequences related to pain.
It's like in the
For
movies when they just stab you with morphine and you're just like, I'm raring to go.
I
but-
stab you with morphine.
Yeah, we're just trying to come up with the fey bargain first before we
try
take another.
if my harm is completely full, or is it just with willpower?
No, you don't trauma out from harm, but if you take harm that your tracker can't hold, then you go to fatal harm.
Okay.
And fatal harm requires basically you probably have some kind of permanent physical damage from the harm, and it usually does take you out of the session as well.
What about like a permanent scar?
Mm-hmm.
That's the fey bargain.
From the fey bargain? Gotcha. Yeah, that karambit wound
Mm-hmm.
I have
is
a
like
level
Yeah,
3
the fish-
dislocated
yeah,
shoulder, so if we want, we could even do like I'm not so good with one arm anymore. I don't know, like maybe I'm slower to react permanently with that.
The arm's
Oh.
just completely disconnected.
severed
It's
Some
still
arm.
don't have
on there
arms.
with the skin, but the tendon and all that underneath doesn't work anymore.
I was thinking
Yeah,
just that no matter what form you're in, from now on, you'll have a scar on your shoulder from the karambit wound.
Okay.
It'll
And
be easier to identify that way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about it that way. I was just like, that doesn't seem like that bad of a consequence. But yeah, if it's like an identifier, then that's another thing.
Yeah, it's like you turn
Okay.
into a rhino and you still have that scar on your shoulder. You turn
Mhm.
into a snake, you still have that scar somewhere on your body. Yeah.
Just means I look cooler.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were doing brawl roll for that. So it'll
Mm-hmm.
be 2 now.
Wow.
Critical success. Woo!
Awesome. Okay.
His neck is busted.
Yeah. Do you want to kill him?
Yeah, I want to body slam him against the wall, like because the
Okay.
Kevlar's got his neck safe. So I
Yeah.
just want to mash his face into the wall,
All right. Yeah. You
crunch him like a soup can.
you absolutely do, and he's instantly unconscious, and you know he's going to stay that way. That's when you feel that wound that he made just tear wide open, and that's when you know, okay, that's never going to heal right.
Should I put that somewhere on my grimoire?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Just in like notes or something that you've got like a permanent scar that sticks with you when you shapeshift.
Okay. I'll write it down now and I'll find a place to put it later. Inappropriate place.
Now that one individual is dealt with, are there any blunt instruments in the vicinity? Nothing intense, just something long and blunt.
There was
Yeah.
a crowbar in the.
Yeah, I was
other
gonna
place
say
all over.
one of the kids went in and heard that metal clank and went for it, and they come up and tug on your coattail, and they're like, "Miss, I found this."
That's perfect, because you know what? I was just going to say, look, children, look at that. It's a pinata.
Hmm?
At the one who's frozen.
That's where all the promised candy is.
I hand another child my switchblade and another one some of my throwing knife. And I say, go get the candy.
Make a 3-die fortune roll.
Alright, let's see. Yeah. Hard time switching between servers. There we go.
Yeah.
It's a complete
Nice.
success.
Okay. Yep. 20 seconds or so later, and he is a bloody mass on the floor. And I think the kids, because they're hypnotized, they're
Stop.
eating the candy.
No!
Oh no!
Well, now we have a whole bunch of cannibal children.
So much worse than me accidentally murdering a child last
We're
Let's
just
just
gonna
hope
make
that they
them
don't get
super
chased.
evil now.
Are we the baddies?
time.
Um,
I mean, we did come onto a luxury liner to steal it, but at the same time, we're stealing it from religious extremists, so...
It's probably still better than the food that was in the storage room.
That's true. Uncooked. Probably not parasites or anything in it, so that's good. With all that ivermectin.
Can I remove some of Seth's pain now?
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll treat that as 0 essence. It's just gonna take some time. So, are you all regrouping? And
We have one person left? People left.
Ran down the hole.
No,
Well, Hollis froze the one, so but the other
Mhm.
one's still like off somewhere.
I think everyone else has gotten away.
How many were there?
There's
5.
like 2 that ran off that we didn't manage to get, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
Hollis
least.
froze one. You killed one. I
Oh,
crunched
okay.
him like a soda can. So then there's like
Yes.
2
3 are
and a
dead
half.
now.
Okay.
Can I speak
So-
to the dead to find out what kind of ritual they were doing and like why they were hiding in the cargo hold and
Yeah.
Good
So
idea.
it's interesting you mentioned that.
they're dead, right?
No.
Oh,
So here's the problem. You go
Mhm.
over to check out one of the bodies,
Mhm.
and it is not dead. It
Children
is
are just eating a living body.
it is undead.
Oh.
Oh,
they're eating
The
rotten people.
the one that you were about to check on
I should
is
still be able to talk to it though. There should be a spirit that would be attached to that body.
it could
regardless.
yeah, it's just going to be much more dangerous because now it's coming back to life and coming after you.
Or children eat faster. The candy's
Well-
going to be stolen away if you don't eat it quicker.
Does it make it
I can
fast
just-
food now?
Worst Halloween ever.
It's frozen to the ground. It can't come after me anyway.
Yeah.
So
Oh, is that the one you were going after?
yeah.
Oh, that one.
The one
Yeah,
that's being eaten.
yeah, that one
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, I just want to talk to it and see what they were doing.
Sure. And the rest of you then see that the others are standing despite their wounds, and yeah. All right.
Dr. Ledge.
Hollis.
Yeah, speak to the dead.
Okay.
That's a grimoire sense, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
do I need to roll
So you
anything?
just pick you pick the action you'd like to use.
Focusing real hard.
Okay.
Okay. Complete success.
What does that look like? And which one are you going for? The one that
I'm the one,
Seth?
the one that's frozen and that's
right.
being eaten. I'm gonna pick up its head
mhm.
and turn its face towards me and just talk to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you tear off that mesh mask?
Yeah, I take the mask.
Okay, let's see what we have there. All right. You're looking at a relatively spry-looking septuagenarian. He's like a 70-year-old-ish man, but is looks extremely healthy for his age.
Okay.
And you also, when you're focusing on him and looking at his like spiritual aura,
Yeah.
you see all these symbols that are like carved into his aura.
Okay.
You see 5 different symbols that seem to be some kind of protective things, but they're of absolutely no use once he's dead. So you're able to bypass them completely. So there's definitely some magic on him.
These guys seem awfully witchy for people who hate witches.
Yeah.
They were stowaways.
So can I ask them
Yep.
questions?
Any?
What they are doing on this boat and if they are connected to the owners of the boat. Why, what kind of ritual they were doing before we interrupted them.
Yeah. So
Ask them too if they taste like candy.
so you kind of hear like multiple voices coming through into your mind at once, but they're all saying the same thing. We are Corpus Templi Solaris. We are the Chosen. We are the Reborn.
Okay.
So I think that answers your first question. What else?
What was the ritual that they were doing? Why were they hiding?
He tells you about something that's you recognize as being very similar to the ritual, the lesser ritual that you would use to increase the power of your coven.
Okay. So like drawing down the sun, but not quite.
Something like that, yeah. Maybe closer to the maybe closer to the Rite of Awakening or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And or yeah, one of those. There are many, and then he says, but as you approached, that quickly turned into another, a different ritual.
What ritual is that?
The Rite of the Drowned God.
What does that do?
I think we should get to the helm.
Yeah, probably.
That was the end of the questions that you get. So his soul departs. Yes, his soul departs conveniently.
Okay, well.
I think we need to move to the Hilton quickly.
Yeah.
The Hilton?
Well, that sounds lovely. We are on a luxury cruise line right now, though, so I think we're a step above the Hilton. Assuming the drowned god doesn't take us down.
I'm gonna start a few clocks.
No.
Should we consider setting fire to all these things, or should I have the children eat them?
Oh, let's not make the children eat more people.
Their stomachs are already going to be aching.
All right, 1 clock. 1 clock, an 8 clock called Drowned Horde.
Oh, that sounds very reassuring. Somehow worse than the 3 question marks.
Yeah, that was their ritual.
I figured.
All right. So 2 have gotten away. 2 are down here reanimating.
Did anybody get banishment yet?
That
if
would
you
be
were to burn away their forms, would they be able to reanimate?
Probably not.
Yeah, that's an animist power, so if anybody has it, it's Madeline. Banishing?
Banishing? If we need it, I can get it right now because I haven't yet chosen my Grimoire power.
Oh.
We might be able to banish this horde if it shows up.
We'll go ahead and get it and get Chimeric Familiar next time.
Your Pamper, I almost said Jaguar, has been doing a wonderful job as they are, anyhow.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I just want to fly on their back as they sting people with their tail.
Panther Core, I guess.
Manticore.
Panther Core.
Yeah, I mean, my Panther's already pretty awesome. Just add wings and, like, super eyes and a stinging tail, and it becomes a god.
Here, I just have a spider.
Alright, so somebody will need to take care of these 2 down here.
I'll set them on fire. I'll burn their bodies.
Okay. So you gonna try to, like, lure them together, or are you just gonna set them on fire in separate places?
Preferably they
Could
can
Seth
be together.
Eat the one?
Do what? Eat the one?
Could Seth eat the one as a snake?
It would probably do a lot of damage on the way down.
I suppose
Yeah,
I
it would
can't
still be
exactly
kicking.
hit stomach. More damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say if you all work together to like extricate yourselves from the hallway, that would put the two zombies on the same path, and then Hollis would have an easier time setting them both ablaze.
Sensible.
Okay.
We should all move along anyhow, because
Yeah.
as I said, we need to get to the hill.
For sure.
Okay. I don't think there needs to be any roll for that, as long as you're all moving out of the hall, except for Hollis's spell.
So how much essence do you think I should spend?
I'd say 2.
Okay, that's what I was
Probably
thinking.
safe. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, they're slow zombies. I don't think it needs a roll.
Okay.
Just spend the 2 essence, and you can describe setting them ablaze with the
They're
fire.
slow now, but they sped past us earlier.
Yeah. When they were alive, they were fast.
I see. So they weren't undead until we killed them.
Yep.
Nice contingency plan.
Yeah, it's actually an unexpected consequence of their ritual. They didn't realize that if they were killed, they would also be brought back.
You're the horde now.
Yep.
Okay, Hollis puts her hands on the wall this time and leans her head in close to the wall and kind of whispers into the wall and sends a line of fire down the wall and out at the zombie guys. And
All right.
sets them on fire.
Yeah, they both catch on fire and burn very quickly. It seems like their capes and cloaks
Robes
might
are not
have
good
been
for fire.
Yeah, well, they might have been slightly fire resistant, but
Mhm.
this is making short work of them because they're so slow they're not able to get out of the fire quickly.
I mean, it's hellfire. It's hotter
Yeah.
than regular fire.
Okay.
Just
So-
expecting that when we get back to the bridge, that flattened weasel is going to be chomping at my captain's neck.
I think that's worth a fortune die roll.
No.
Giving them ideas. My dice is my mouse is one die.
1 die.
It's a complete success. So
Wow. So I'm trying to remember the captain's name. Was it Paige?
I don't know if you gave us a name.
I feel like it was something to do with page, or because it was a page that you drew.
All
Yeah.
I remember is the smut.
Yeah.
That one sailor's mind. When I reached into it, it will not.
Yeah. So
I'm considering that a trauma, and every time I look at the captain.
So yeah, Paige doesn't hear the weasel sneaking, the undead weasel sneaking up behind her, but it lunges at her, and she turns with a quickness and re-stomps it.
Off goes the weasel.
Yeah, pop goes the weasel for the second time in as many sessions. And on that note, we're going to take a short break. All right. Welcome back to Children of Midnight, Nightsky Sanctum, where we are lighting zombies on fire.
And eating them. Well,
the children are eating them, but yeah. At your behest. Well, your unintentional behest.
We're going to offer them well done as well as rare.
Oh.
It wasn't entirely unintentional.
So, I think you have a clear hallway leading back up to the upper deck. So, unless there are any pit stops, you have these 13 kids in tow and can head back up to the deck without any further interactions.
Let's do it.
I get the feeling we should do so.
Okay. So when you get up to the top, you can see that it is starting to dawn. The sun is just starting to come up, and you can see the, well, I guess you can't see the captain from up there. But the boat seems to be acting normally, and nothing strange up here above decks. The two other masked cultists are missing, though.
I feel like we should ask the captain. Maybe Elise should ask the captain, because Elise can convince people about stuff. How many lifeboats there are, and see if maybe they've taken one. Because we don't want word to get out that we've done this.
Thank you.
Are we really concerned with a couple of zombies going out and giving words and witches attacked a ship?
But they're not zombies
going
yet.
to-
They're still alive. They're not
Those
yet
things are still
undead.
alive, aren't they?
Yeah, that reminds me. I meant to say that as you're coming up the stairs and cresting onto the top deck, you hear the sound of metal scraping against the side of the ship, and then a big splash.
That definitely sounds like a lifeboat.
Should we
Hollis,
chase after and try to stop them?
we've got two options here. We've got the octopus option or the icy option. Or the Madeline grows a talon and slashes through the lifeboat option. Might be a bit difficult.
Yeah,
Or-
I'm not sure I can slash through a lifeboat.
Or
I'm
we do
gonna-
the hilarious option, and Robert jumps off the edge and transforms into a rhino midair and lands in their boat on top of them.
I think that's the best option, personally.
Me too.
You can fly now. I think that would make sense.
It doesn't need to fly at that point, right?
Yeah.
Just
I'm
falling
gonna-
with style.
We
Make
just don't
a-
know how good his aim is.
going to make a quick fortune roll to see basically how far they get toward the boat and, toward getting on the boat. And we'll see how they're doing before that happens. Mixed result. So not great. They got the boat in the water, but they are still in the process of climbing down onto it.
Okay.
They left the oars on the deck.
You idiot! Where's our life vest?
They're close enough to Manhattan. They'll drift there eventually if we don't kill them.
So they're not in the boat yet.
They're in the process of climbing down.
Can I set the boat on fire before they get into it?
It's a pretty significant distance away from you. You can't see it from where you're at, but if you jaunted
Run
off...
to the edge of the boat?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
So that is going to put you in position to notice that the boat is being climbed by the drowned dead.
No. Maybe they won't want to go after they see that.
Sorry, are these the people that jumped off the boat in the first place?
Yes.
Okay.
So all 70 are now coming back onto the boat to exact their revenge for what happened earlier. So they are climbing the boat with their gnarled, waterlogged claws.
What is the range on Hollis's evoke Tartarus? Like, if they just make like a skillet on the side of the boat, like the metal side of the boat all crispy.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
Can we
fry
prevent
us
them
as
from
well.
It increases as the more essence Hollis spends. It increases the area.
Okay.
So, wild magic.
That might make more sense. Yeah.
Perhaps a wild banishment.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we thinking?
So we could do a big wild banishment, or we can do a big wild napalm fire on the surface of the ocean, so they
I'm
can't.
thinking, 70 zombies is a bit much for these children to stomach. Don't think they'll have that kind of appetite.
Yeah, I would
like-
say more than half of them had their fill on that first guy.
Yeah.
So.
It's like 2.5 zombies per kid. It's too much food.
Mm-hmm.
Too much.
What banishment zombies?
That it's unclear, but that's why we roll dice.
But if we do wild magic banishment, so like banishment combined with some wild magic, so like amp it up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think you could deal with them without the wild magic. I mean, individually, that would be a bit overwhelming. Personally, I can't do a bloody thing. I'm just here to deal with people. I'm a people person.
You already did your part.
By enslaving 13 children.
Mm-hmm. And others. The minds of
we-
many.
Giving our children supper.
Always keep them fed. I am a good mother.
Vespertine, do you want a crash course in wild magic?
Could we do like a group wild magic?
No.
No?
It has to be personal. Yeah,
Oh.
one
Also,
person.
None of us know banishment.
So, yeah, the way it works is you generally look at your grimoire and your card and your aspect and your disposition, and you try to come up with a power that's related to those things that you can use. And it can be massive. So, it's pretty much anything you can think of as long as it makes sense for your character. You
What are
don't
the willpower
need
costs?
So can Hollis
3.
lend wild magic to my banishment?
You guys can all do wild magic individually.
Well,
See,
I don't have enough willpower to do wild magic.
you would still you're still able to do it. You would just trauma out afterward.
Okay. Are you all okay with me traumaing out and trying this?
In assuming that the boat doesn't get overrun with drowns, the plan was to keep it open. So we'll just sail you home. If all goes well. If all goes poorly, it was been nice knowing you.
It's not like I'm gonna be dead.
There are wild magic consequences if you roll a 1 through 3 that can be worse than death. But
What?
they're random, so can be.
I don't
That
want
sounds almost
worse
interesting.
than death.
Yeah, you could have your legs your legs shapeshifted into that of an animal chosen at random, or
Is that worse than
That's
death?
just a satyr. That's fine.
That would be
that's true.
ideal. Goddess,
Yeah,
I'd
like-
love satyr legs right now.
Satyr legs sound tasty.
don't-
So how would I do the wild magic banishment then?
Yeah. So you would describe the effect, and then you would roll your Covenanter, which is 1 die, and then if you roll a 6, it goes off without a hitch. If you roll a 4 or 5, you have a 1 wild magic complication, or you get to roll 2 wild magic complications and take the better of the 2. And then if you roll a 1 through 3, you roll 1 wild magic complication, and that's the one you take. If you roll a 1 through 3, it fails. If you roll a 4 or 5, you take a complication, but it succeeds.
Okay. So that's 1 die.
Mm-hmm.
Can I take a Fey bargain to increase?
No, it does cost some Fey bargain as well. So it costs 3 willpower, 3 Fey bargain, 3 fate.
Is this worth it?
But I'm not sure what the other option is at this point.
That's true. Okay,
Let's
I
just
will.
abandon the boat. We could do that.
No,
Unless
we
I
need.
use I
We
could
need
use
work too
dire
hard.
form to make the group
Try to do
focus on me, and then we just try to invoke Tartarus.
You
Mhm.
could just try to
Like,
turn
I
into
get
a
them
giant
all in one
octopus and
area.
wipe them off the ship.
Just
Or a giant
windshield
squid.
wiper legs.
Even larger.
Sorry, I needed my book as we prepare for it.
Would Hollis be able
You know
to
what?
make the sides of the ship? I see.
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking if I do dire form and turn into a giant squid and I spray ink, maybe that can be flammable for Hollis on top of the zombies in the boat.
It is usually a natural animal, and I don't think there are any octopuses that have flammable ink.
But if the sides were icy, I don't
That
think
would-
these zombies have climbing equipment.
No.
It would slow them down, if not stopping them on one side of the boat, maybe entirely.
Are they all the way
Um,
around?
Yeah. But you could probably cut their number in half if you were successful enough. That might use up all your willpower as well. I mean, essence.
Yeah, I would definitely be out of it.
Now remember, you can run yourself completely out of essence and continue to cast. You just suffer increasing negative effects of being out of essence. And if
Yeah.
you trauma out while you're also out of essence, you Kiki's delivery service. You lose, you're disconnected from your magical ability until you get it restored. By meeting a 10-year-old boy and falling in love.
That's not what happened.
No?
No.
Okay, good. I need to rewatch it.
Your
Then.
boys here anyhow, if that's necessary.
So, is the idea to try wild magic and see if that works out?
I think the wild magic is probably the best option at getting rid of all of them.
A mass
Maybe what I
banishment.
can do, but I don't imagine they'll respond well to commands. And other than that, I'm limited to stabbing them. So,
I shall try my wild magic, but if I fail, or if I don't fail, either way, I'm going to trauma out.
I don't have any kind of spell casting stuff like Invoke Tartarus, but like for my wild magic, would it be specific to my shapeshifting ability?
you could turn into a giant kraken.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, I just didn't know how that works.
It's any effect that you can relate to your abilities. It doesn't even have to be an ability you have, so it could be an ability that's on your sheet that your character doesn't have yet, even.
Okay.
And it
So
can be related
then-
to your aspect.
So that Madeline doesn't have to trauma out, could Hollis do the wild magic?
Yeah, I just realized, though, I was wrong. There is no willpower cost for wild magic.
Okay, good.
It's Essence, Fate, and Fey Bargain, and that's it.
Good. You don't have to trauma out.
Yeah.
And it is 3 of each.
3 of each, yep.
And is where is fate?
That's on
It's
the
on
coven
the
sheet.
Coven sheet, yep.
Okay. Does everyone want me to do that then? Try to banish them all with my wild magic?
I think that's the best bet.
Yeah, I don't see any other option.
And that's a
I'm gonna-
1 die roll.
Yep.
Seems like the only option, except for ice or kraken.
Oh. Alright.
Is a
That.
failure at a 3.
Alright.
So,
Let us roll a wild effect. 1 sec. Type in !1 and then WYLD.
Okay, hang on a second. I'm just making sure I write down the fate on the coven sheet.
Oh, I stuck
Okay.
it in there.
Okay, cool.
New frontier for us.
So what was that I should write down again?
Just type in !1 WYLD. 7 of Swords. Caster's arms shapeshift into that of a random animal.
No, my beautiful arms.
Alright,
Let
I'm
me
sure you can
grab-
still grow talons out.
Yeah.
Let me grab the random animal chart.
Cat.
4 of Pentacles. Whoa, very apropos. You get manta wings. Like a manta ray.
What?
ooh,
Hey,
you're a
your
sea
arm-
pancake.
Yep. Your arms flatten out into the shape of a sea ray.
do I get my arms back ever?
Ever? Yes.
Okay, good.
But for
However,
now, you just give great hugs.
It's probably the worst possible arms you could get.
Indeed, I was hoping for something with sharp claws at least.
a burst of spiritual energy comes out of your body and a shock wave goes all the way across the boat. Several of the zombies that were climbing up to the top fall off. However, when the sort of magical smoke clears, you notice that it hasn't affected their minds at all, and they have not been spiritually disconnected and banished the way you had hoped. And then as the smoke clears more, you see everyone around you sees your manta ray arms.
I
Flop,
used to
flop.
have such pretty hands.
Flippity flap, take no crap.
One of them still has a nice dagger on the end of it, though.
Good.
Now you're just the stingray that killed Steve Ware when you have a barb and flippity flappy
Oh.
arms.
And we are also going to start a clock called Red Watch. because the Red Watch, who were already out looking for you from the previous session, have now taken up trying to find you again because they can sense all that magical energy that just got released. All right.
Well, they'll have to sail through fucking zombies.
Yep.
Since I'm not the most useful individual in this case anyhow, I'm going to depart from the group to go to the hill so that I can tell Paige to go full steam ahead, whatever bloody direction she can, to get us as far away from these zombies as possible. Now, I'm sure the ones still climbing the boat are going to get up, but I don't know how good of swimmers they are.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and mark the drowned horde took 1 damage from that failed wild magic from falling back into the ocean, and they're going to have a much harder time getting back up onto the boat. So,
I'm imagining these zombies are like the drowners in Minecraft.
Just throwing tridents at us constantly.
Yes.
Very annoying.
Alright. And so if you want to do a command roll or something of that nature, we can see how well she's able to steer the boat to knock any other ones free.
Command Paige to get us the hell out of here. And it's a partial success.
Okay. So,
I don't know how to drive manual.
I think that she's been awake for so long working on the boat that after she finishes this maneuver, she just passes out from exhaustion.
They would have a red one.
So she knocked out 2 more ticks off the zombie horde clock, and that leaves one side of the boat that's pretty much free of zombies, and the other side has it way worse.
Okay. So I'm gonna ice
Time
that
for ice?
side of the boat. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'll spend my last 4 essence and ice the entire side of the boat.
Okay. What do you want to use for that?
Focus.
Okay. You want any extra dice? Nope. All right.
I got a partial success. I should have,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
but
let's.
I didn't think about it.
Partial success is still a success, darling.
Yeah.
Better than a failure.
So, do you want to go ahead and describe that?
She's gonna run to the side of the boat. She's gonna grab a hold of it with her hands and talk to the boat and tell it to freeze.
All right.
And it partially does.
No, it spreads out all across the side, and the zombies start to fall away, or chunks of them get stuck in the ice, and then they snap off and fall. But I think the ice is a little too indiscriminate, and it comes up and it freezes your hands to the edge of the boat too.
Okay.
Oh, no.
That's
so
fair.
that's going to be a level 1 harm.
Okay.
Frozen, like the movie.
Oh.
That's a tough
But I'm gonna let it
You
go.
can't let
then.
go. You can't let go. You're frozen with the boat.
Everybody's like, let it go. Like,
I can't. So that's like frostbite.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to mark, you did 4 essence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to mark 4 off the zombie horde. That leaves 1 remaining.
What about the people in the lifeboat at this time?
Yeah.
Are they getting further away, or what's happening with them?
Yeah, so they are fighting off zombies on their boat because the zombies are attacking indiscriminately, and with all the ones that you all had knocked off the boat at this point, they have twice as many zombies as there are them. So there are 4 zombies on their speedboat as they're speeding away, and that they're having to fight.
Serves them right.
Yeah.
This, darlings, is why you should not play around with rituals if you don't know what you're doing.
I thought magic was something you learned by trial and error.
Trying to summon a drowned god is probably not the first start.
She says flappily.
I have a question about my chimeric familiar.
Mm-hmm.
It says mythical creature or hybrid. Is there like a restriction on size? I'm just wondering if I can potentially do a small wyvern.
Yeah, it's one. You're limited to one.
Okay.
Having your dragon frog is your chimerical familiar. I would say you could probably do a long-term project to change its form again, since you're a shifter. I would say that's probably really easy for you, so maybe like a 4 clock long-term project to change it to a different form. But no, there's no real effective limit.
But I've done it for this session though, unless I do a long-term project. And then like I have to do that in my downtime. Otherwise it just stays as that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could it just revert back to the frog at that point? Or do I have to do the long-term project to make it stop being chimeric familiar?
Say whatever you feel like. You get to. I'm fine with you deciding that, whether it switches back or that's just its new permanent form.
Okay.
I think it can probably turn on and off its luminescence, so no real need to worry about it switching back unless you really want it to pass as a normal frog.
I mean, it just looks cool now.
Yeah. So there are an additional 8 or 9 zombies that are still managing to climb aboard.
We could have to get those.
You guys want to do like a big group action to
just get some brooms and knock them off?
I'm wondering if I can do a dire form and change into like a large griffin and see if I can just like scoop them off the sides.
Yeah, you couldn't be like a griffin like the mythological creature without the mythical shapeshifting ability.
Right, but I could be like a large bird
of
some kind.
Condor. Yeah.
Albatross don't have talons, they have little flippity flappity feet.
Like Madeline.
It's better than flippity flappity arms, yes.
Stop making fun of my arms!
They're so cute though. They're
They
good
are.
for hugs.
Aww.
I will try to do that then. I will expend an essence to do dire form in the attempt to be a large falcon, I guess, to pluck them off the edge like ticks.
Okay. Can you give me a 1 die fortune roll?
Yep, sorry. How do I do fortune again? Just
exclamation 1 F.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been meant to do an F.
Bad result. Poor
That's okay.
little effect.
I was just going to treat that as the number of them you were able to knock off the boat.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, in an action without it causing you any harm, you're able to find the 3 that are closest together and dissuade them from continuing to climb the boat.
Okay.
So that only leaves 5 other. 5 more waterlogged zombies.
So there are oars for like escape boats. What do you call those?
There's oars. There those long hooks that you use to like pull the boats close. Yeah.
I was thinking I would grab one of those and just start knocking zombies off the boat.
Okay. everybody want some and do a group action to get rid of the last of them?
Yeah, I want a purple stick.
Let's put in the helm, because now we don't have a captain.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, true. Okay. And Madeline can't because of the arms.
Can I use my new stone vision?
I don't know if it works on undead things.
Why
If
not?
they come up too high, though, you can just slap them a couple times.
We need to work out how that works off camera because I haven't been able to give it any thought yet.
That's fair. Well, I still have my talons, so if I need to get up
that's true.
close, I can just swipe them.
So maybe a group brawl with 3 of you?
Yeah,
Or,
that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
You can send the children. One of them has a crowbar.
Yeah, if you want to get the children
They
involved.
now have a taste for blood.
If you want to get the children involved, I'll give everybody +1 die.
So let's send the
Okay.
children up, because they had
Their
so
melee.
much fun the last time.
True.
Who's gonna lead?
I'll lead.
Okay.
I think I've got plenty of willpower.
Yeah, it's
I
just
think-
more pinatas, but with longer sticks.
Yes. Exactly, they can all get involved. They can't eat it though. They don't get all. I'll give them better candy later. Cake, even. Who doesn't love cake?
Okay, so roll.
+1. +1 die.
Oops.
So just roll 1 more die again.
It's
Okay.
2 failures, so.
We all do +1 die?
Yeah,
Just the
everybody
kids?
gets +1 die because you have kids.
The
Okay.
children are there.
Oh no. I got
Alright,
a
still
failure
a
as well
fail.
into 3.
How about Madeline?
I thought Madeline can't do it
I
because
thought I wasn't rolling because
I thought you were going to use your hook.
Your claw.
Alan,
I was, but I thought I still was. It was going to be separate.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, we can do it separately. All right, so Paulus and Seth and some of the kids have been overtaken by zombies, apparently.
No!
So I'm going to say that 2 of the zombies grab 2 of the kids and leap back overboard with them.
No!
You guys can resist that if you'd like.
I'm gonna resist that.
Okay. How about you, Seth?
Wallace is
Yeah,
such an
I'm gonna
angel
resist.
saving my children.
Okay. That's going to be a prowess resist.
Okay. What is not worth?
And that's with an R.
Was exclamation point.
Prowess R. Yeah. Wow.
Little R or big R?
It doesn't matter. It'll read either. Nice. You both spend no willpower
Yeah.
to resist that. Okay, so now you're both in brawling with zombies, but you have saved the kids from being hurt.
So
Thank
now
you.
I come and try to use my
Yes.
claw with on my wing,
Your ring claw.
my fishy wing.
Your flipper.
Yes.
So sending the kids away, and then the 3 of you, or is this just Madeline?
It's up to. I mean, I don't have. I could do a group roll if you wanted to, but it would most likely trauma me out.
You don't have to lead it, but you could be involved in it.
Oh, how many willpower did I take for both of us failing that group
3.
action?
3 in
Okay.
total.
Let me mark that.
I do want to trauma out before the end of the session so that I can start over fresh next one.
True.
A little bit of trauma.
Well,
As a treat.
I don't know about you, Hollis, but I have 4 willpower left, so I could lead a group brawl if we want to do that.
Sure.
Okay.
Try this brawl again.
Form are you in right now, Seth?
I think I'm still the hawk at this point, so I might just try to wing flap and do like a gust to whoosh him off the edge.
So how about you were gonna lead it, right? So I was gonna say
Yeah,
you
but
could
what were you
probably do
thinking?
an assist
Okay.
with
Like a setup
keeping them
for
off
all
balance.
this?
Yeah,
Okay.
to keep the creatures off balance while the two of them are meleeing them.
I can do that. You okay with that, Hollis?
Yeah.
Alright. Here we go.
I feel almost guilty, safe here in the hill, but I can't
Oh,
really
that didn't work. Failure at a 3.
Okay. So I think what that means is that one of the zombies grabs a hold of your talon and starts trying to drag you off the boat.
Okay.
So this is a group brawl.
Yeah, so the group brawl for the two of you, and now actually, if you wanted to, you could assist with the group. You could group brawl as well, Seth, since
Okay.
you've been pulled into the brawl.
Failure.
Who's leading this one?
I still have the 4 points since I
Okay.
didn't lead anything last time, so I can lead this one. Just got to
All right, this one's a success. Okay.
Failure.
So that's going to cost you 3 willpower, but you're going to do a success with the cost. So I think Madeline had the lowest dice, so I think that's going to look like a zombie bite from to the
nice
flipper.
bite-sized chunk out of the.
Do you want to
Squishy
resist that, Madeline?
If you all are okay with me traumaing out, possibly.
Yeah, do it.
I think avoiding a zombie bite is probably worthwhile.
Worth it.
So wait, how do I resist again?
Prowess on this one. So exclamation point, your prowess, and then the letter R. Nice.
5.
All right. So you kick it away, and with the last of your strength, and it goes overboard. And then how do you trauma out? Do you collapse from exhaustion, or?
I think my flippers start to wilt a little, and they just fall down by my side, and my eyes just kind of go cloudy, and I just fall over.
Yep. She's turning into a manta ray. All right.
Hollis and I are going to be the only ones who aren't fish.
So
Nice.
when I trauma out, all my willpower is cleared. Anything else that happens, I forgot.
Yeah, all your willpower.
Trauma.
Yep, you gain a trauma.
Yes.
And you get to choose it. And
Okay.
I think you regain all your willpower at the beginning of downtime.
Okay, cool. I will look at my traumas.
Okay. And I think that success at a cost was enough for you guys to finish getting the last of the zombies off the boat.
Oh, good.
And so now it is just a matter of Elise carrying the boat away from the Red Watch successfully. Unless you want to do something to... unless there's something you can do to Paige.
Isn't she passed out?
Yeah.
Yes, she's passed out. Now, actually, yes. Yes. I am going to do something to Paige. I am going to take over her mentally and see what I can learn about piloting the ship.
Oh, crash course.
Exactly. See if I can absorb a bit of knowledge so that I can actually maneuver this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that is... So since she's passed out, it should be hard to rip
Yep.
her skull and reach into her mind. And
Study into essence.
yes, and you know what? I'm going to utilize some willpower as well.
Okay.
Just
For
because
increased effect or an extra die?
I'm torn between the two. For increased effect. You know what? If it doesn't
Do you-
succeed, that's fate.
You want a Fey bargain for an extra die?
Yes. I will
Okay.
do that as well.
How many Fey bargain would this put you at on your sheet?
3.
3?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think that some psychic Fey has got a hold of you. It is feeding off of your astral energy because it's so strong. So you have like an astral leech that's attracted to you.
Parasite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll come up later. Once it grows in
that's
enough.
very interesting, actually.
Once it grows in power, feeding off of your psychic emanations.
Right. Well, just started about that anyhow. It sounds very interesting. All right. It's a failure, my god.
Oh,
I thought
wow.
my 3 die was going to.
Okay. So she's unconscious, and part of the problem with mental takeover is that it can be devastating for the victim. I think what this looks like is you are able to take the information from her to get you what you need to be able to pilot the boat. You might not hold on to it for very long, but it, along with some of her other basic skills, have been torn from her mind. Maybe eaten by that leech. That's
Is it
sucking.
enough to get the boat home though?
Yeah, that we'll have to see. So that would be based on another roll. But I think
Right.
you might have enough to get you going. But yeah, she'll never be the same. Collateral damage.
Just to say, anyhow.
She can be our housekeeper for our boathouse.
I'm also gonna
Yeah.
click one on
Yes,
the
we
red
do.
watch clock.
How many tick?
Right.
I mean,
1 out
total
of
tick?
4.
out of 4. Okay.
So, what is Elise using to pilot the boat?
I think study is the only thing that makes much sense.
I think study could work, finesse could work.
They're both either way. But
whatever you feel like.
Let's say a little bit of finesse. Why not?
Okay. Go with your guts. Let the what you absorbed try to work its way out of you. Mm-hmm.
Yes. She puts a. I don't know. I actually have no clue if a luxury liner has a wheel or if it's all just.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. It might be electronic.
Oh no.
I assume it's not electronic. Would it be electronic?
There might be some parts that are. It isn't the newest boat though.
I don't know much about boats, in all honesty.
Yeah.
I know about old boats, but nothing about new boats.
Yeah, I would say based on how powerful Corpus is, it's probably no older than like the 90s. So, but that's still a decent age. So, well, we'll see how you roll, and we'll determine how much electronics there are on board.
All right, let's see how I roll. Let's see if this is any more fortunate than the last one. It's a complete success.
Wow.
There we
Okay.
go. They got a boiler room.
You send the kids down like dwarves to feed the boiler themselves. All
They could
right.
just toss them in there.
So where do you want to offload this boat? Do you want to take it back to that dock where you have the dock worker friend? Do you want to try to hide it?
Weren't we going to try to contact the pirate fae?
Right. That might take a long-term action, long-term project to get with them, but if you wanted to just show up in a place where they are, we could roll and see how you are immediately received.
That's still in D, right?
It
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Let's do it. Let's just show up. Very piratey thing to do.
What's up, guys? We have a boat.
We stole it. We're pirates
Child
too.
slaves. We have a pirate. Or a
Can we be
captain
in the
whose
club?
mind
We have our own boat now.
Okay, I think since it's Elise that's doing the piloting, we'll let you make the Coven tier fortune roll. So a 1 die fortune roll to see how well received you are by Dylan D and the Vile Legion.
Well, it's a partial success.
Hey!
I'll
That
take it.
sounds like a good place
Only
to leave
slightly
this.
awry.
Yeah. So when we pick up next time, we will find out what this partial success looks like, but you have successfully got away from the Drowned Horde and the Red Watch. So
Yay.
excellent job.
And our boat is still floating.
It
And we
is.
still have the children.
Yeah.
No more children died. Oh wait, did
Children
None of them are
saved.
dead yet.
Nope.
I don't think
None.
so.
Oh, that's right.
I
We
mean,
resisted.
they were, but
Yep. All right.
their
Who
current
wants-
status is uniformly alive.
Traumatized. Cannibalistic. But alive.
We
Yep.
just wipe that out of their brain. Make them forget.
I don't think we can.
That sounds like an Elise thing, if anybody.
Oh, we could get mind wipe as a coven.
We could.
And,
We could get it.
yeah, we
Mhm.
could do that.
Who wants
Might
to
I
be
don't
do?
know. I like the idea of corrupting these children and making them into horrible little demons.
So take a Coven upgrade. Coven pets.
Boarding house.
Yeah. Okay, who wants to do Drawing Down the Moon?
Can I do it even though I'm fainted?
Absolutely. What did
Just
you
doing
take?
it from your back.
Okay, so my limp body, my like milky eyes look up at the moon and reflect the moon, and my arms start like just moving, and the moon starts, giving us its power or whatever.
Nice.
I imagine I'm on the deck, right? So
Mhm.
I can easily. Hopefully it's night now, and the moon. I just draw it down in my fainted state, unconsciously wanting its power to replenish my self.
And at the whole Coven, yeah.
She's
In
like,
the process, but at the time, I don't consciously know that.
I'm just imagining you on the deck doing like snow angel motions, just like, come on, moon, jazz me up.
All right. So you can roll 1 die for that. That's a 1 die fortune roll.
Partial success at a 4.
So that's everybody gains 2 willpower and 4 essence.
All of my willpower is cleared out, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's just 2 essence.
Yeah. 4 essence, 2 willpower. Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, we will figure out exactly what that means with your interaction with the Vile Legion at the start of the next session. And we are just hitting 10 o'clock.
Well,
So
they'll be absolutely chuffed to see us. We could give them some child slaves.
Oh.
Sell them some children.
All
We don't
right.
need 14 of them.
Should we do
Just the Brady
downtime?
Bunch.
We probably shouldn't do downtime because you're in an unfamiliar location and we don't know how they're going to react.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
maybe we'll do downtime at the beginning of the next session and we can
could
just...
do downtime on the way from point A to point B.
Yeah.
That's true.
On the ship.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we can only pick things we could do from a ship.
Yeah. Let's just
No
wait.
grave dirt.
We can wait because Vile Legion has a lot more to offer you guys potentially. And we'll just do XP on stream.
Okay.
Right.
So somebody want to grab Coven XP? Deleting these delicious clucks.
Don't mind me, I undressed just a little bit. As previously mentioned that half-shirtless individuals are welcome, so. I could only stand a collar that tight for so long. I'm so used to my shirts being unbuttoned all the way to my navel.
Those are the best kind of shirts. Unfortunately, I can't wear them for risk of being charged with indecent exposure or something.
Yeah, I hear Twitch is pretty harsh.
I heard they ban feet.
All feet?
Just
Yes,
feet.
apparently you're not allowed to show bare feet on Twitch.
Oh, I was gonna say there's 10 feet in this room right now.
Apparently, you're not allowed to show any nipples either, no matter of what gender you are.
Wow.
Well, that's
At least that's
unfortunate.
fair.
Going off my nipples. They are top tier, wonderful nipples.
And can be seen on many sites.
Yes, because I post them very
Graciously.
Yes.
Mine can only be seen on Twitter and my paid sites.
Who has the Coven?
I've got the Coven sheet up. Let's
Okay.
get this away from nipples.
No, but darling, we're witches. Nipples are standard.
Are you gonna bring good omens
right?
into this? Are you bringing good omens into this? How many nipples have
It
you
goes
got?
further than good omens, darling.
Either
Everyone
way,
thinks
here
witches
we
have
go.
3 nipples.
Successfully completed a favorite undertaking. Our favorite undertakings are locate, artifact, and destroy. Don't know if it counts that we destroyed zombies with wild magic.
This
We
is
also
more of like
I think that's a bit of a stretch.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
wouldn't-
we did specifically go hunt down to destroy these 5 stowaways.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I think that counts.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get a blip there. Contend with challenges above your current station. What did you say that the rank of these people were?
It's either 3 or 4.
So definitely above ours.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do we want to do that? Like just one tick for the 5 of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
The zombies definitely were not.
Not. There we go.
Corpus
There were
is tier
70
3.
zombies.
Yeah, they definitely had you in scale. So,
Full-
I think that counts, actually.
Another one for the zombies?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 2 for that one. Bolster your coven's lore. Act in a manner befitting your patron.
Arcana.
Well, I don't know if we did much to do with Arcana. I suppose I did steal someone's knowledge about maneuvering a ship, but I also destroyed it.
Uh-oh.
Full ship.
That is your
shit.
coven ban.
Destroying knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Even if it's
no.
quite intentional.
Yep, even if it's unintentional. So, can somebody check out on the coven sheet and see if that is the
That
wording
is
of
it.
the ban?
Must never destroy knowledge.
It doesn't even have to be arcane knowledge.
Just knowledge.
You have to atone by gaining new knowledge. Well, we kind of did that. We just exchanged it. It wasn't like
Find the manual on how this
100%
ship
destroyed.
It was
She doesn't know what she's doing anyway. She's got a manual laying around here somewhere.
Boats for
imperfect,
dummies.
imperfect, and non-permanent knowledge. I don't think it counts, but so maybe you'll need to do a special undertaking to atone.
Okay. Express drives, inner conflict, essential nature of your coven. Inner conflict because I ran off.
Yeah,
So
you triggered
pissed
our
everybody
abandonment
off.
issues.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the drives. Do we have the drives written on the sheet?
No.
Or
We just kind of-
Drives, yeah, drives are like a coven thing that we don't usually write down. They're sort of a unwritten, although they could be in like notes or something, but they usually aren't. And then
Okay.
beliefs are the same thing for characters.
I think
We're-
our drives kind of include having nice things, and getting full control of this boat would count as getting nice things.
True.
Okay.
You know what? I must assume, and I'm probably wrong in this, but there's a whole cargo hold down there on a ship from a faction that steals artifacts.
Yep.
Yeah, there's probably at least one or two good things down there.
Yep. It's gonna definitely be a good idea to start a long-term project to like catalog and maybe sell off all that stuff to Vile Legion, assuming you make a good start a good relationship with them.
I'm sure.
I feel like there may also be stuff down there we could use.
That's
Yeah.
possible.
At any rate, we can get rid of anything we're not going to use and replace it with ballast.
Okay. So we got a fair amount of points. We didn't get enough to get anything additional, but still pretty good.
Awesome.
Okay. I guess individual XP now?
Sure. Anybody?
Who's going first? No.
I'll go.
Silence speaks volumes. Do you want to go?
Yeah. Let's see. Addressed a tough challenge with wisdom or underworld knowledge. Yeah, I spoke to the dead, and I froze things and set things on. All underworld things. So I think that's 2 for that.
And wisely, you didn't set the drowned ones on fire.
Yeah, that would have been silly. Let's see. Expressed your heritage, disposition, aspect, or beliefs. My heritage is Gob. I still kind of played
your
up.
Gob language bunch,
I did, yeah.
and the kids
That's
liked
true.
you.
I was gonna say I played up the shortness to continue friendship with that kid. So I think that's 2. Trauma, casting style, or consequences of harm. I don't think I've had any yet.
You still don't have trauma?
I don't. Crazy.
So unlike
Why?
you.
I know. So I'm going to say that's 4.
Am I the first to have 2 trauma?
I think you and Seth have 2 trauma.
I
Or
only
Seth
have
only have 1?
reckless currently. I have a
Oh.
bunch of harm, but I only have 1 trauma.
Yeah, apparently you
Keep
are.
expecting to trauma at any point, but the problem is that my magic isn't very useful when we're not dealing with human beings. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't tend to expend much willpower once we're dealing with zombies.
Yep.
So, I guess
Vespertine, do you want to go ahead and... Oh, sorry.
Oh, unless Vespertine wants to go.
I can go. For my new trauma, I chose reckless because I feel like it was pretty reckless for me to attack zombies in my state.
Yeah.
So address a tough challenge with spirit assistance or love for all things. I did use spirit assistance for lockpicking.
Yep.
And I did stab stuff.
Yep.
Which is the thing you love most in the world.
That and shiny things and pretty girls.
Alright. 2?
Expressed my heritage. What was that?
Yeah, I was just saying about Paige. She was pretty. That was well established, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the saddest thing about that is that her girlfriend is still alive on the ship. And so she's going to have to be nursing her back to health. That's the redhead that Seth knocked out.
This is actually
He
quite
didn't
fortuitous.
kill her, so that's good.
And
They can be in
impersonated.
love. We can let them be at peace.
We'll get
If
the
they do
mind
what I
wipe
tell them.
just so they can just forget about all this. Just go off somewhere to Fiji.
Yeah.
I feel like Elise definitely did enough mind wipe already on on her.
So
Don't make me blame the leech.
True.
They're both gonna come to and be like, I had the strangest dream about an octopus and zombies, and you were there. Like,
There was a woman in a dress. Just had a whole bunch of children ripping apart a zombie.
and eating it.
Zombie cannibalism. Did not expect from
Express
kids.
my heritage, disposition, aspect, or beliefs. My disposition is nonconformist, and my aspect is the moon. And my heritage is Gorgon, which I decided this session to, the thing that I got from the Fey Market is the ability to use my Gorgon powers of turning people to stone.
Mm-hmm.
So between those things, do you think that's 2?
Yeah,
I think so. Yep.
Okay. And struggled with issues from your trauma, casting style, or consequences of harm.
I usually give everybody a freebie when they take their first trauma of 1 XP for that.
Well, this is my second trauma.
Oh, I mean, sorry, whenever they take a new trauma.
Okay.
And then for the others, do you have any harm on your sheet right now?
No, I do not.
Okay.
But I did have some issues because my casting style is with slicing with sharp stuff, and I did have an issue of I suddenly don't have a hand and I'm instead trying to slice with a wing. I don't know if that counts though.
Yeah, I would say that counts. That's changing up your having to adapt.
Okay. Well then, I guess I'm done with that.
I remembered that I did sort of struggle with my casting style because I froze my hands to the boat.
That's true.
That's right.
I forgot about that. So I'm going to take an extra one.
Yeah. Okay, so assess a tough challenge with many forms or familiar assistance. So I had to turn into a human to heal the children because they didn't trust me. I had to turn into the teacher to convince the children to trust you guys. And I turned Rupert into a bioluminescent bird frog so we could see in the cargo. So I think that gets me 2.
Absolutely.
For my heritage, disposition, aspect, and beliefs, I'm neurotic, and I wanted to check what was going on with the light switch with my psychometry. My beliefs, it's happened in, like, I think 2 other sessions now, where it's like, you protect children. That's something that Seth wants. Like, Seth does not appreciate any kind of harm to the children.
Again, you're the only one who's harmed any children thus far.
I know!
Although I did tell them to eat a corpse.
Yes.
That's harm.
And for trauma, casting style, and harm, my trauma's reckless, and I stuck my hand in the exposed light socket. And I also charged off on my own.
Yep.
Quick question. Are we going to be done in 15 minutes, do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always the plan.
Especially if we're not doing downtime. So we just wrap up the experience.
My dad wants to drop something off and just texted me saying, could I come by in 15 minutes? And I'm like, let me see.
You should be ready, I'm sure.
Alright. Are we lacking anyone, or?
Elise hasn't gone yet.
Okay.
Alright, well. I think it's safe to say that I addressed a tough challenge with manipulation. Whether that be of the children or of the captain. Questionable whether the astral knowledge counts because it failed miserably, although I did get enough information to get us out of the issue that we were in.
Yeah, that definitely counts.
Alright. Well then, after that, expressed my heritage, disposition, aspect, or beliefs. I think in this instance, my heritage likely had a part to play in those children so reliably responding to my commands. If I had been anyone else in the body, in my natural state, it might not have gone so smoothly.
Yeah.
I'm mostly looking. And I might argue that I didn't actually do much myself the entire time, so basically telling everyone else to do what I want them to do, convincing them to serve my purposes, that's rather Machiavellian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, I just fired a gun.
Poorly.
Yes. That's why I stick to making others do my dirty work for me. Because I'm not exactly the best shot. And then struggled with issues from my trauma, casting style, or consequences of harm. I don't have any trauma, and I completely forgot that I had a minor concussion, I must admit. Because it is quite a minor concussion. Probably should have had that come into play when I fired off that gun. But enough of that. As for
Maybe
my
that's all
casting
you
style,
missed.
again, maybe. I did have to grip that woman's head, but that wasn't really an issue because she was unconscious.
Hey, I mean, it could have ended up with more consequences because of it. I think because you acted with regard to your casting style, I think that's worth a point.
All right.
If
I get
everyone
one
else
point for
agrees.
that, that's it.
Yeah.
Which actually puts my resolve up to 5.
I put a picture of D up on the screen.
But we already have a picture, didn't we?
Well, yes. We have a picture of D's model. But yeah, so Jack, Spider Stripe, and D are currently up on the screen at the top in weird purple because of the filter I have on that section. All right, is that everybody's XP? Finished?
I do believe so.
And did anyone gain any new abilities or new dots?
I
did.
I got a point in focus.
A point in what?
Focus.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome.
Let up my resolve.
I'm 1 away from popping in all my actions. That'll be a fun
Ooh.
next session.
Wow,
I got a finesse dot.
nice. Oh, did we have anybody make any rolls of 1 in risky actions? I think in some of those
Did
group
Hollis
actions.
have one?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think in some of those group actions there might have been a really low roll
Yeah.
that we just sort of passed over.
I think
Mhm.
Madeline got
Hollis-
one in the brawl with the zombies after I failed at the trying to sweep them off with my wings. I think they got a 1. And I'm pretty sure Hollis got one too when we were actually fighting the zombies.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
sure.
it was supposed to be a 2-die roll, and then she rolled a second die,
Yeah.
and it got higher. Yeah, I'm looking back through it, and I think actually we didn't end up with any 1s in any
Wow.
bad situations. Wow, yeah, that's a surprise. A whole lot of 2s. Let's see. Elise rolled 0 dice on an action and rolled a 2 and a 1. And they counted as a 1. But I don't remember the specifics. So maybe if we look it back up, that might give you an extra XP later. It was very close to the beginning of the game, though. So it probably was controlled.
Yes, I don't think we were too risky at the beginning there.
Yeah. All right.
I think we're done.
Yeah. So, does anybody have anything they wonder, like about the Vile Legion, or what kind of consequences you might face with Corpus Templi Solaris when those 2 cultists get back to tell about what they were involved in?
Will they make it back though? They were in a giant pool of zombies.
That's
Yeah.
that is definitely something I'm gonna roll. Actually, I will go ahead.
I
and
wonder
roll
where
that
those
now.
zombies will go next.
We just swarm them because there's so many.
Maybe they'll just soak up lots of water and like start to sink to the bottom.
They'll just bloat.
Mixed
I wonder
result.
if there's-
So I think one of them survived. One of them succumbed to the zombies.
Of their own making.
The one that
Yes.
survived gets turned into a zombie though because it got bitten.
We'll see.
That's a magical zombie, though, darling. So it doesn't transmit through infection, does it?
Oh yeah, I bet
Must
Hollis
be
wants
rules
to
of
know
life.
all about those weird arcane sigils on the souls of those Corpus members.
She's gonna scribble them down as soon as she gets home.
Nice. Awesome. Well, right. Does everyone want to tell where they can find you online, and we can sign off for the evening? We could start with Vespertine.
You can find me on Instagram at swords_and_lace. And in my bio on Instagram, you can find links to everywhere else you can find me online. So go find me.
Hide and seek. All right, Hollis or Anya. I know your name.
Fine. I'll answer to either or. I have an Instagram and a Facebook and a Twitter, but I don't know them off the top of my head. But they're written down somewhere on the screen. I'm pretty sure you can see them somewhere.
Yeah. And Anya is the co-author of Children of Midnight and the creative director. Without Anya's help, we would have never met any of these wonderful people that we have been so lucky to have as models and to play with. Lilith?
Thank you, darling.
Thank
you.
I have an Instagram at Megs Benedict, but most of my work can be seen on the Cytherian and Morningstar content pages.
As can my work, because I am the Cytherian.
Indubitably.
It is the Cytherian on Facebook and the _Cytherian on Instagram and Twitter.
Alright.
And there you can go enjoy my nipples.
I plan
Which you're
to
not
write.
allowed to enjoy here, apparently.
I plan to right after the stream. So.
I'm supposed to upload more nipples today, too.
You can enjoy my nipples on Twitter, which can be linked from my Instagram.
And I'm Gavin, the GM, and one of the writers as well, and the developers for Children of Midnight. The Quickstart is free at quickstart.childrenofmidnight.com, and you can pick it up today. Give us a rating on itch.io.
Yes, please rate our game.
We have milestones set up. When we have a certain amount of downloads of the core rules, we'll be releasing new content. And at 800 downloads, which we are, I think, 50 to 60 away from, we will release the updated Grimoire sheets made by Francita.
Beautiful.
They are absolutely
gorgeous.
I thought I had one beside me, but apparently I don't. Anya might have one. Yeah. They are magical. I think that's the first time the inner part has ever been seen by a streaming audience.
Utterly arcade.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Through and through, very apropos.
So, yep. And we are looking to have guest stars involved, possibly as soon as next week. So there will be a 6th camera, and some of us might be shrinking a little bit on the screen, but hopefully not too much, and the Cytherian will not be shrinking on screen.
Will I be shrinking?
I don't think so. I'm gonna try very hard to not shrink any of us, even if that means we get rid of the dice bot. Because we're all pretty good at calling out our dice rolls and everything, so.
Seth can shrink. Seth can be a goldfish. It's okay.
Just to have a little picture of a goldfish. And we might even have some animations next week, so we'll see how my skills hold up to that. But anyway, it's been awesome chatting with all of you in chat. Thank you again, the Cytherian, and all the rest of you for chatting with our lovely friends there.
You can thank Vespertine more than me, darling.
Nice.
I've only been occasionally popping in, but they have been very involved.
I'm trying.
Thank you. All right, and we will see all of the rest of you next week. Have a great evening and enjoy the credits as they roll. Bye.
Bye.